ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the OPL week number 3, first week on the season ticket. I'm going to be Rankonius and your host for our first game. Joining me is the lovely Timmy33, well, he wiped off the 33 a few weeks ago, Turner.
Yep, wiped up the 33. Now I look a little bit more professional with a double M and double Y. Sure. But yes, we're going to go ahead and get into our first game of the day, Synapse versus the Chiefs. Now, the first band coming out here is Alquan. Now, Alquan has had so far 100% pick and ban. Like, just why is Alquan just so strong?
Why is Alquan just so strong? He's got a lot of damage built into his kit. Alright, so everyone knows his main weakness is his early on health pool. Without that amount of health early on, that's where he really struggles. In the mid to late portions of the game, he's got high attack speed, so he can sustain, he can clear camps just by sitting there and whacking them. He doesn't need to burn mana, he can come in the lane, he can put a lot of pressure down, and then he's great for assassinating and getting those picks and kills on both tanks and carries, because he's got a 30% execute. If you get through 30% of health in one spell, that guy has got a lot of protections, health, and anything else that he's got sitting there. Shield of the Underworld, you know, there's a bunch of stuff that you could really have on prep. That's a huge boon to your team. You've wiped out a big backline threat. 30% of it, it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, big backline threat. Or if you just getting really stuck onto those front lines of Disruptor or Guardians, you only have to take them down to 70%. And as soon as you do that, you can execute them. Second band coming out here is Ratatasker. Now, he did receive a little bit of a nerf where he can only dash up to a maximum of 3 times, thank the gods, but he's still incredibly strong. He has a high amount of damage with that flurry of Acons, and even though the dart has been nerfed, he's so mobile. You cannot catch him unless you're a Fenrir.
Yeah, well, Fenrir also being banned out immediately as a response ban to Ratatoska. Man, I'm not sold on Fenrir bans immediately after Ratatoska bans, but Athena is going to be our final ban because we've seen so much of Athena. And finally, coming through, our first picks is going to be Geb, locked in for Synapse. Now, Geb, looking to protect a hypercarry. What's your read on this one, Timmy?
I'm not entirely sure, because normally when you go with a Geb, you want to make sure you've got a Hunter that can carry him through the early game. Geb is very passive. However, I'm not too sure why they gave up the Sylvanas, because he was still available, and he's just so good. He just wins the lane, pretty much. With the Wisp provides so much healing, you give him the purple buff at the very start, you get instant lane pressure, and you just start taking the lane from that point on, and it really puts your ADC ahead, so maybe looking more towards the late game, Synapse.
Well, with pick number 1 focusing towards the late game, that's a little bit risky anyway. Gonna throw it across. Sylvanas and Bologna are going to be locked in for the side of Chiefs. And, well, that's just a little bit risky here, Tim.
Just a little bit. Like I said, Sylvanas dominant in the lane. I'm guessing the Bologna will be going to Alkiro in the solo lane, and he does really well with those not high tanky, but those bruisery disruptor sort of people, and Bologna does that exceptionally well. The disarm is so annoying to deal with because a lot of times you still don't expect it. You're thinking, why can't I auto attack? Is my game bugged? But then she's got the slow, she's got the Eagles Rally. They got nerfed, but who cares? That still does so much damage. That still does a lot of disruption, and the bludgeon, it still does a lot of damage, especially if you get right in the middle of a bunch of people, spin around, and then slam down onto that high value target. They're just going to get erased.
Yep, well, coming through in our next set of picks, it's actually going to be Bastet to be locked in. Yeah, no, I think that's wrong. Apwash. I've got a few mistakes here, it looks to be on my screen. So we'll just get that one figured out, but in the meantime, it looks like the Bastet is going to be locked in for the last round of picks on the side of Chiefs. So they've locked in here Sylvanas, Bologna, and Bastet. Sylvanas the only one locked in. They can opt to run the Bastet towards the solo if they did want to go for the counter matchup. Alquan off the board, so not necessarily this time.
I don't think so. Maxon loves Bastet. Those high mobility junglers allows him to get around the map all the time, especially in that early game. You get the speed buff, you go rampant. Bastet has high mobility, high damage early, and that's what he likes. He likes to be able to snowball early and really take advantage of the game and give the advantage to his team to allow them to really grow. He's done exceptionally well on Bastet in the past, and I'm expecting him to do exceptionally well today.
Yeah, well, we'll see what else comes through. I believe it was going to be actually the Apollo that was locked in there, as everything
All I know is
is
that our
starting to come
Porsche
through.
as well. A Porsche for Synapse. Now, do you think our Porsche is still viable? Because in the Capri patch, there was the debuff to his ultimate where the slow is just removed at all, completely, just gone. So now it's just a big area damage that does slight damage every so often, every time you get hit by a Wraith. Is he still viable?
Is he still viable? It's the slow removal is certainly crippling towards his kit, having that potential to zone out in that cone. You know, that's a chunk out of his kit. It's just suddenly gone. Is he totally out of the game? Well, Synapse are betting that he's not. I think he's a spot where he's just under high tier. I think he's still about a mid tier. I don't think he's actually fallen straight out of the meta. I do think that he does still maintain some value, but I do not feel like he's one of those priority picks here. And that, for me, is the problem with picking him in this early rotation of picks.
Yeah. Now, next band coming out here on the side of Synapse is Giannis, the god of portals. He's quite slippery, he's quite good in the mid lane, and this is where... No, this isn't the Direwolves Armory, this is Synapse Chiefs. So, Giannis, like, I know he does a lot of damage if he uses the passive right, if he builds up, you know, a lot of power early, get a lot of utility online, you know, but he can also go for that utility and still do a lot of damage. But is he really priority ban? Because Agni has been showing up a lot as well.
Yeah, and, well, Scylla to be banned out as well, and Agni immediately picked up Agni. So much damage, the ability to maintain it, CC, it's all really there in his kit. Odin Ymir now on the board. There are a lot of Guardians on the side here for Synapse. This is a very, very tanky composition.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe they realize that they may be on the back foot here against Chiefs. They're Maxon's very aggressive early. He likes to get those kills. As soon as he starts getting kills, he starts to snowball. So instead of going, hey, let's try and outrace or outdamage Chiefs, let's build up a defensive team and use that as our strategy. We'll stay on our towers, whittle them down, and then they'll get tired, frustrated, they'll dive in and throw it away. Maybe they're trying to look for a bit of a counter plan.
Well, with the Medusa final lock-in, that is your God Select. All over, all through, all done between Synapse and the Chiefs. Tell us what you think in the Twitch chat. We want to hear what you guys have got for us. Sylvanas, Bologna, Bastet, Agni, and Medusa going to be rounding out the comps for the Chiefs, and coming to us all the way from Synapse, it is going to be Geb, Poash, Apollo, Odin, and Ymir. So a Guardian tank-heavy comp versus more of a Brawl, constantly fighting, roam around the map comp from the Chiefs. Let us know. What are your predictions? I certainly want to know, Timmy. Give me a read on the picks and bans. Where do you feel the draft's gone, and who really won the draft so far?
I think Chiefs won the draft. They got super powerful gods. Sylvanas, Bologna, Medusa, strong. Agni, he's so versatile, so consistent, and Maxon loves Bastet. This is like one of his strongest gods. So I'm giving the draft to Chiefs. However, credit where it's due. Synapse maybe going for that counter attack, like I said, with that very defensive team.
Well, we'll have to see with the game going on right now. It's all loaded up. It's all over here. If you're excited for this game, don't forget to get in on the Twitter discussion as well. Give us your hashtag CHFWin if you wish the Chiefs to win. And if you wish Synapse to win, give us a hashtag SYNWin and tweet that at CG Smite. You can also tag us. As you can see, our Twitter tags have been on the screen at OCE Timmy for Timmy and at Ranconius for myself. Let us know. I like hearing, personally, a lot of comments from our community that are watching us. But it is time for this game. And Timmy, why don't you take us down the roster of Synapse?
Alright, find out the bottom side of your minimap and the left side of your spectator eye. We have Synapse Gaming. Elucidea is Odin in the solo lane. Heartscope Boom is playing the big man Ymir in the jungle. Agni is playing Alpoash in the mid lane. And your duo lane is Theodore and Church as Geb and Apollo.
And coming to us out of the red health bars from the Chaos side of the map, it is going to be Chiefs Esports Club. the newly crowned champions of another esport in Australia. They did exceptionally well last night. It's going to be El Kiro on the Bologna. Maxon is going to be on the Bastet in the jungle. Crazy Aussie on the Agni towards the mid lane. Prenzel is going to be your support on the left-hand side, playing in the tree. When Sylvanas and Gruff Dogger, don't look at him the wrong way. You'll get turned to stone. He's on Medusa as your hunter. And Timmy, it is going to be one hell of a game, one hell of a two-game set between these two teams.
It certainly is. Now, it's really going to be down to who gets the first blood and who gets first blooded. Because if Chiefs get a first blood, that's exactly what they need. They need to get that little bit of an early lead just for them to really take hold of the game and start to snowball. However, can Synapse actually defend themselves off with this really tanky frontliney sort of team? Not to mention, the dual lane with the Geb and Apollo, they're both very late game oriented, so they are going to get pushed under tower because, hey, it's Medusa and Sylvanas. But later on during the game, the tides are going to turn in their favor.
Early in the game, it's going to be a blink on the right-hand side of the mid camps. Heartsco Boom found that freeze, a lot of damage on a Crazy Aussie. Level 1 blink, it's something you often see when you're running a Ymir. It's picked its way into this game, and it's already made a little bit of an impact.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something, that's definitely something focused towards Maxon, because he loves those high mobility junglers. And what do you do when you have high mobility jungler to deal with? You put the Ymir right in front of them. He breathes on them, they don't move. Especially early on with that frostbite doing so much damage.
I like that. It's the frost breath. I didn't even think of that. Just breathing on him. If he dies through a frost breath, he just breathed on him a little bit later on. Talk to me a little bit now about our solo lane on the right-hand side of the map, because we've seen Top Notch in particular go for this Odin, and now it seems Elucidator's trying his hand at it. What's the benefit of this one?
The benefit really is that Odin, his main thing is that he can clear wave incredibly well. He's so efficient with that bird bomb, and with the mana buff on the solo side, he doesn't have a lot of issues with the mana. The thing about Bologna is that you don't want to dawdle with her. You want to kill those minions as quickly as you can and avoid fighting her. That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, winning out the extended trades through Scourge, through Shield Blash and blocking damage. It's all you really need to win a solo lane fight. Towards mid right now, Maxon and Crazy Aussie are focusing on getting the shove already going. Left-hand side, the focus on picking up a little bit more XP where it's available. Agony and the Heartsco Boom are going to grab some back camps. Going to lose a little bit of gold to that mid lane tower, but it's making sure that they get control of the map. And as we approach the next set of mid camps, you're going to start expecting to see Prenzel and Theodore rotate and put some pressure down. Who's got a better mid fight, especially for this first set of mid camps coming back off?
Well, I'm going to give it to the Synapse, because the last thing you want is to stand in top of a bunch of corpses from an outwash, especially after he's hit level 5. He's got a little power going, and he's built the Soul Stone as well. So after 5 auto attacks, his next ability is going to have even more damage. That means one heck of a corpse explosion.
Well, yeah, I would not want to be eating any sort of exploding corpses, let alone ones that have also been tagged up with a Soul Stone. Maxon positioning himself towards this right-hand side of the map. Right now, Elucidator might be the first one to come under threat from a successful gank. Maxon's playing it.
All he has to do is wait for Elucidator to jump, because if he jumps and he walls himself in with the Ring of Spears, there's no way he can go. But Maxon has revealed himself just to pick up this little bit of extra golden XP. Elucidator, he is letting these minions go into the tower range and just try and play as safe as possible. Although now he can full clear, and now he's actually going to lose his blue buff. This is going to be a massive detriment to him, especially since he's very low.
Oh, but the blink from Heartsco Boom, they're looking for the engage. Shards of True Eyes is doing a lot. Eagles rally as well. Oh, Kiro's low, but so is Elucidator. Elucidator's probably going to be first blood. He's got the shield. Can he keep it alive? Bludgeon. No, it's going to be the dots from Maxon to confirm that one. Heartsco Boom wants to do a little bit more, but he's got to wait on cooldowns. And check this out from Crazy Aussie. He wants to rain fire on his parade. Gets it. Another bomb. It's successful. Heartsco Boom. Well, you might want to play Cupid's son to your liver a little bit closer to your name, but you certainly exploded enough for me that time.
The backstab from Heartsco just wasn't enough. He really had to do a full 180 to get out of that rain fire. But 2 kills going to the way of Chiefs, and Maxon got the first blood. This is trouble.
This is trouble indeed. Mid camps, Chiefs are gonna take those. They're 1,500 gold up already. The experience. Crazy Aussie's done the worst thing he can possibly do. He's reset the mid camp.
He didn't say that.
Oh,
Didn't say that.
mistake.
Don't worry. He got the second kill of the game. He can make a mistake like that. He got one of the mid camps before he did one of the few before he did that. So go ahead and let him off this time.
Gruffdogger is going to focus down a Transcendence route from him this time around. It is going to be the Devourer's Gauntlets and the Death Toll. What are your thoughts on Hunter builds, Timmy? Which one do you prefer? What situations and why?
The Transcendence build is really... I want to get as much lane pressure as I can before you start getting about 3-4 items off on the bat. And especially people who have either trouble with mana or they use a lot of abilities. Medusa, she's looking for that aggressive push against the Apollo because you don't want Apollo to really get up. And Medusa has some good ability damage coming out with the Viper Shot and the Acid Spray.
Right hand side of the map, Elucidator's woes continue. He hasn't got a mana bar to contest with, and Elkiro is just like, right, have a shield to the face, here's a few sword slaps, don't fight me. Not having a good day over there after that fight, after that set of first blood and that blue buff, but he's got to try and find his way back into this, because, well, Odin, he's an early game god, and he's losing lane.
Well, one thing to point out is that Elkiro did go for that Icaville, so if he starts slapping the Elucidator, it's got, actually, Maxon taking a
mid lane, it's going to be Maxon that picks up a kill. The next one, Theodore! No, son! Oh, apparently rocks can bleed, according to... sorry, not Prince, it's going to be according to Maxon. He knows that rocks can bleed, and, well, he made one bleed that time.
Look at the grouping from Chiefs. There's 4 people near this Gold Fury area. They took away the red buff away from Agni, and that's what he really needs. He needs to be able to keep this lane pressure up against Crazy Aussie. He needs to farm up, get that ridiculous damage that Alpwash can do. But now he's going to try and get collapsed on here by 3 people, but he's going to go ahead and sit under base. But look at the tower on the solo side. It's pretty much already gone.
It's already gone. Elkiro has made work of that Ikaval, and he is on that tower a heck of a lot. He's 1 level up on the XP portion of things as well. And Elucidator, there's not a huge amount he can do here. He does jump in, he does try to go aggressive, but Maxon's here, and there is going to be no dive away. The Ring of Spears to try and keep them in. Elkiro is going to use the Eagles Rally to get out of there. He gets out. And that is all she wrote so far on that right-hand side of the map. Elkiro is just going big on Bologna.
And Bologna is a very strong god for Elkiro. Like I said, he likes to be able to get into those team fights, just get into the back line or charge headfirst, brute force into the front line, and just really disrupt the team. And Bologna does that so well. The fact that he, even though he hasn't got any kills so far, he's 800 gold above Elucidator.
Wow, that is just ridiculous. 3 assists and he's 800 gold up. That's down to that tower pressure on the right-hand side. He's got that tower, the blink in from Heartscope Boom. Looking to stop Elkiro doing that blue buff. He hasn't found it early enough, and now it's a 1v2 scenario, but Elkiro's fine with it. Shots of True Ice not even going to whack him. Elkiro gets out. It's a 1v2, and he's come out on the better side of it.
That's what Bologna do. Bologna doesn't care. Especially when you side gain her online. She's got that dex toll, so you can poke her all you want, but as soon as that bludgeon comes out and she starts hitting those minions, her health and mana skyrockets up just from clearing the wave, so it's very hard to deal with her.
Yeah, right-hand side again. Akilro is just going to continue shoving away. Mid lane hasn't taken a lot of damage. Agony was getting shoved in a little bit. Maxon, though. Maxon's thinking about it. Or is he? He just wants ward control. That's team play right there because Gold Fury being contested.
Gold Fury going the way to the Chiefs, and I don't believe Synapse have any vision of this. Church is going to see those foul, but it's just too late. And he may even get collapsed on.
He did get lacerated up there, and now they might continue to chase. They do get the long range on towards him. Heartscope Boom has found Elkiro on the right-hand side. The blink in from Theodore. He's making sure he gets out of it on the left-hand side of things. And a little bit of an overextend from Elkiro on the right-hand side makes him pay his life for looking to secure a speed buff.
Elkiro maybe getting a little bit cocky right now. He has to, slow it down a little bit. Just remember, he does only have 2 items. Not a lot of power. He's only got the Ichval, and he went for the Ninja Top Eye for extra attack speed, but less power. So he's not quite at the point where it's ridiculous, but I believe he's going to be building into a Frostbound, a hammer.
Might be a Frostbound Hammer. We do see a lot of Frostbound Hammers coming from our...
Oh, look at Gruff. He's been chased at absolutely no health. Petrified did come out, but didn't manage to land any stuns. But the slow's going to be enough to get him out there. Very close. He had 3 people on top of him, but still managed to get out there alive. 2
bombs dropped down, and I have a feeling Crazy Aussie might have picked up that mid-cap. Agony gets hooked in the mid lane because Maxon is all over him, and he might go for more kills here. Theodore's on the wrong side of things. This is trouble. Down comes a bomb. They get the stun. The ticking damage. I think Theodore's going to get out of there fine, and he will manage to live this time around. But the Chiefs are just roaming around. We want kills, they're saying. We want gold in our pocket, and they're certainly finding it.
Yeah, Synapse, they need to really utilize the fact that they have a very tanky, very defensive lineup, very controlling as well. Oh, that jump, the lunge coming out there to stop the hook from the Nature's Grasp. Perfectly timed, and Maxon did get turned a little bit. It's the Wisps. What's health problems? You hurt? Don't worry. Gotcha, man. Have a band-aid. Shut up.
The roaming tree of heals is basically what Prenzel's playing this game. Taking a nice hook earlier to set something up. Now on the backside, El Kiro is going to get roamed on by Elucidator, who has gone for that mystical mail. Most of his damage is going to stay by just sitting on top of El Kiro, who's trying to run away. He's got the Eagles rally, gets over that wall, and he will get the heck out of there. Hearts go boom, not going to find a kill, and he needed to find something.
I'm not sure if Elucidator, like how much damage Elucidator took while he had that Raven shout up, but he did nothing to Okiro.
Oh, Maxon has found himself an Odin, and he's got some ideas. He might be able to do something here. Hearts go boom. It's got absolutely no matter. He's going to get the cat. He just dumped onto him. The Razor Whip, it's doing damage. The bees are going to get him out of there, but it's all she wrote. For the rest of it, there's... the ultimate burn by Elucidator to just buy them some time, and there's nothing they can do because Maxon is all over them on the right-hand side.
I will give props to Elucidator, though. The idea of using the rare spears to block off the cats and save Hearts Go Boom. He saved his buddy's life, however, he does now have the ultimate down. Rare spears, however, is on a pretty ridiculous cooldown. As I speak right now, it's 30 seconds away from coming back up. Odin, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, check out the left-hand side of the map as well. Gruff is 2 levels above Church, and Theodore is forced to sit over here and try and keep Apollo alive. The Chiefs are just pulling them around the map saying, hey, wherever you go, we're going to have more pressure there. And in the right-hand side of the map, El Kiro again looks at Elucidator and says, I want you dead. I want you for breakfast. And he's certainly trying hard enough to do so.
Left-hand side, though, Cataclysm and Petrified did come out, so Synapse needs to be careful. Crazy Aussie is coming around there, but mid coming out here. Maxon gets another kill, 5-0-2. He's on a rampage right now.
Well, it's not quite over. Look at the red buff. It's going to be Theodore who's in trouble. Gets a bomb. Dropped in his head. Crazy Aussie's huge. Frost Breath does a huge amount. They're looking to focus on towards Gruff, and they're probably going to kill him off for the first time right here. Now it's on towards Church. Can he get out of this one, or can he get kills? What's the go? He's now been locked up. He is a dead man. That ticking from both the Wrath of Terror and the Wisps. That secures it in the bag. Prenzel takes a kill, and they'll take the 2-for-1 Chiefs and be quite happy with that.
You can run and hide, but the dot damage will still get you. There's just nothing he could have done there. As soon as he got hit by the Wrath of Terror and the Wisps, he was dead in the ground. There's nothing he could have done. He could have tried to use the Serenade, however, a little bit of misconception, it only gives physical protections when you do that, so nothing to stop the tree.
Nothing to stop a tree.
Stop a tree?
Well, he could stop his auto attacks a little bit, but that's
a little bit. Not really. Like, as soon as it's, you know, it's 13 minutes in the game, so far as auto attacks doesn't do enough.
Remember when AD Sylvanas was still a thing, though?
Oh, God.
Oh, blinking looking at Crazy Aussie, who is incredibly low, looking to find some kills. They find it. Agony finds an in-hand and will manage to get the heck out of there with that kill secured. What are they going to do now? Because the Gold Fury has just spawned, and Synapse, for the first time this game, might be the ones to control it.
I don't think they're really comfortable enough to try and control it. They're a little bit behind. They're still licking their wounds from all of the pressure they've been applied to across the entire map. They really need to be careful, just farm up, because they do have a little bit of a better late game. They've got a lot of control. Apollo's just so good late game as an ADC, as opposed to Medusa, who does fall off a little bit. However, Theodore getting very low here. The shield will come out, will stop the dot damage. But Gold Fury, another one coming out for Chiefs.
Yeah, they drop the cats just to make sure they get through this one nice and quickly. Looks like they're going to have to confirm. Church is going to spot it out, but it's already gone down. Wrath of Terror was no good from Prenzel. On to nothing. Theodore, though, he's in trouble. He got hooked in. They're going to secure that kill. Elkira to take that one away. They're still going to look at Church, I feel. They've got 4 on the left-hand side. Might be able to pick this one up. They might think about the dive, but they've got to be careful. Because here it comes on towards Church. They're trying to do this one. They do have the damage. It's Maxon that'll secure it. Another kill for his tally for this split.
Even more aggression coming out here. Big freeze going on to 2 people. Maxon and Graf will be frozen there, but no love can be really followed up there. And he did use his little burst combo kit coming out. But Maxon once more. Oscar Boom in a bit of danger. Uses the wall to shield himself off away from the dangerous kitty cat. And Graf is just trying to dance around this tower, trying to get that last
Maxon's
little
now going to join the party. He's now going to start taking it up. Down goes the Shards of True Ice. Maxon confirms the kill, but will go down to the tower. Well, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Maxon wanted more kills on the board. I think he's got the highest kills in the OPL thus far. Theodore's going to get focused out, hooked in. Prenzel finds him. The teleport immediately from Elucidator to try and save his bodies, but there's nothing they can do.
Lou don't really agree with the teleport from Elucidator because now Alkiro can really split push if he wants. He's already at that tier 2 tower, which is much more valuable. However, Church across the skies is coming over to cover it up, but what can he do? Is he going to be able to do enough?
This tower's already down to a quarter HP, and Alkiro just backs out. Says, here, stop it. Stop it. No. Puello.
No. No. However, coming around the backside, the Elucidator does bird bomb down onto Chiefs. Will the Spurs coming out? There it is!
Yeah, they're going to focus down on towards Graf. They do get the freeze. They're going to get that frost carpet for the kill. Prenzel's going to be the next focus. Can they confirm him up? Yes or no? Elucidator with the jump on. He's got the spin to slow down Wrath of Terror, and Prenzel starts to just get the heck out of here. Another knock-up. They're still trying to kill him off. They're chasing him for so long. Agni's going to be able to get in here from Crazy Aussie. He's still not dead. Prenzel's still alive. Shards of True Eyes are going to finally confirm off the kill. Heartscope Boom gets focused out by the cats. He's going to be dead in just a second. Drainfire doesn't quite secure that one. Maxon will pick it up, and now Elkiro is going to find Theodore. Who's going to be next for these guys? Elucidator's trying to find kills. Elkiro is incredibly low. He's going to get the drop down. He's not quite there, but it is going to be a mystical mail to confirm the kill. They're not just done quite yet. Crazy Aussie going to base out here on the backside, and finally Chiefs are going to call all those kills they picked up a day.
Maxon's still thirsty though. He's still looking for something, but now he has to get out. He has been taken down to about half health. He no longer has his buddy Prince, so it's just giving that little top up of health every now and then. But 8-1 and 5, crazy performance from Maxon once again. If we take a look at our graphs here, we can see the Chiefs are up 10,000, or it is dropping a little bit, but just over 9,500 XP and 6,500 gold. This is starting to slip out of Synapse Gaming. They are starting to bring it back a little bit. There are a few peaks coming back their way, but it is gradually and surely falling out of their hands.
Gradually falling out of their hands as Maxon is actually going to go in and tag us up with a pause. So that's the game as it is right now. It's 7-14. Chiefs have gotten 2 gold furies. Timmy, that's just a little bit dire.
Just a little bit dire.
You might say dire wolves.
Stop it. But yeah, like, I don't really feel that Synapse, like, okay, well, the game has gone back into game, but I don't think Synapse have really been able to prepare for this, sort of aggression. They went for this very defensive team, but it's just not enough.
Oh, what are they going to be able to do now? Do they have the late game? Are they able to farm out and say, hey, Apollo, carry us. Hey, Alpuash, carry us. We've got triple Guardians. We've got triple heavy scaling. They've got Ymir. They're looking for freezes. Gruff turns around and says, I'll freeze you all my own as well. Manages to get out of there. That was lucky for him.
Just very, very lucky. He did get, the less rate did get blocked off. I thought he boomed for a moment. No, he turned around with that deadful gaze. But now, over towards his right-hand lane, the speed buff is going to get ahead, picked up, stolen away, and given to Maxon. And yet another pause coming out from Theodore.
Another pause coming out from the side of Synapse as they do lose Elucidator momentarily. Chiefs looking good. They've got that right-hand side of the map controlled. They're going to steal away a speed buff. they're going to start to continue to, That's an interesting phrase. Grammar classes, please. But they're going to continue to expand their lead because they've just got control of the entire jungle. And that XP, it's snowballing out of control. And no one's level 20 yet either, so it will continue to scale.
Yeah, now you were saying before, does Synapse have a strong enough late game? I think it's more of a factor of when will they get to that late game factor, and when they do, is it going to be enough to really stop the bleeding and save the game? As we get back into this game, the speed buff does fall to the way of Maxon. However, Synapse are around. They have sniffed them out, but will they be able to do anything to try and make any vengeance?
Maxon is going to be forced to use his beads as Theodore starts looking like he might want to come in. Not going to be able to do so. Gruff is still on the left-hand side of this. The Chiefs are sieging this with only 4 members. They've got to be careful that they don't lose anyone. They secure the tower, and Gruff maintains the pressure and the pushing on the left-hand side of things. So a successful siege coming through from the Chiefs. They get what they wanted, and they didn't have to pull over the power of Gruff.
I hardly call that a siege, though. Bolero just came around and chopped the tower in half with the sword. It was more of a hit and run. But now
might not be over left-hand side. It looks like the engage is going down. They got a Cataclysm. Maxon has been focused out here, and he's going to lose some more KDA. Let's go Boom, though. He's going to fall to Crazy Ozzy and Elkiro to back Theodore into the grave as well. Now to the skies. What is the Apollo going to be able to do? He just repositions himself around the fight because he's lost too much. Elucidator was thinking about going in, and with Apollo diving out, it was a terrible move, and now he is in a world of hurt as well. Another Gold Fury spawns, and look where the Chiefs are. They've got this one under wraps.
And Alkiro is not done. He's positioned himself well. He's able to hit both Tower and Elucidator with that bludgeon. However, he needs to be careful because Church and Agni are coming up around the top side. Glows are out. He's getting very slow there. Is there a junk of isolation? No, there isn't. Not coming from Agni so far. However, there might be just enough of what Agni needs to make this outpost a little bit more viable, because the junk of isolation will still give a slow effect on the ultimate, whereas, you know, otherwise just there's no slows at all.
Well, gonna be the base coming through from Chief CSC. Will they be able to find the itemization they need? Bancroft's Talon and the Spear of the Mage is already online for Crazy Ozzy, so his penetration and his power is incredibly high. His sustain, it's online there as well. Their ability to burst out one target with Maxon and Elkiro gone for whoever the heck they want as well. Transcendence online, Yotun's Wrath, a Titan's Bane, and a Crusher. Maxon looking for all that physical penetration. They've got a huge amount of burst here, Timmy.
This is what Maxon loves to do. He loves to build like a Loki build, just all the penetration, and he's doing even better on this lineup that Synapse has draft, because there's only 2 somewhat squishy people, and one of them has a lot of life still. So that penetration is going to allow him to take down towers and things is incredibly quick, but also take down Synapse even quicker.
Well, Fire Giant has been started up. It is dropping incredibly low. In fact, it's already gone. Hotskopoon was having a thought about getting in there, but he's not quite going to be able to do so. He's forced to run the heck away. Don't look at him, Hotskopoon. You'll be running the wrong way. Pretzel pulling Sid, gets a great engage. Great grab. This might be the fight. This might be the game. Agony is just the heck out of here. Theodore's in a huge amount of trouble. They secure him off. They look to turn it back around. Elucidate's going to be the next focus. Church is actually doing some really nice damage, but he hasn't got enough people left in front of him to be able to do so. They might dive. They might just go for the tower. They opt for the tower. Maxon has other ideas. Not gonna be able to. Yes, he gets it. Oh my god, Maxon! What a beast!
Maxon doesn't care about tower. He's got all that penetration. Towers don't matter. He wants to turn on it, he'll get it down in an instant. Like he's been diving the entire game, and he's just doing so well. Hotskopoon getting the juke and shoots out here, doing a little sidestep, doing disco dancing. He is very low here, but the Titan is going down even faster. He blinks into the fountain safety, but will be able to save the Titan.
He throws down a wall. He's really trying to do so. Theodore can't tank anymore, and he's forced to run away. Great Frost Breath locks multiple people's out, but that Titan is going to fall, and Chiefs, they're going to take game number 1 in such exemplary fashion. Fire Giant into a team fight, into a base destroyed. Look at that gold lead. That is 17k advantage in gold lead alone. Their experience, they were just starting to hit out on level 20. The differences were insane. Maxim was like level 19. If you have a look across at his opposite number on the side of Ymir and Hotskopoon, level 15. That was just a little bit brutal coming through from the side of the Chiefs.
High School Boom was at a lower level than Princeton. Princeton was at 16, and he was the support. Like, this is what Maxim does. He gets early game guards with a lot of mobility. He starts paving the way. You give someone very strong to Alkiro, Bologna, and then you put someone very stable into the dual lane, Sylvanas, and there's just no whole lot that Synapse could have really done. I really think that they lost this draft pick here, and they dug themselves into a hole with the people that they picked. They went for a very controlling, very defensive sort of lineup, but they weren't able to get big enough to even be able to be defensive. So they were just a bunch of half squishy people with mediocre damage.
What do you want to see from them in our game number 2 to be able to potentially come back and take a game off the Chiefs? It's going to be a rough ask. That's straight up. It's going to be a rough ask. But what do we need to see from them?
Invade. You need to invade the jungle as much as possible. If you get rid of the blue buff for Akira, you're going to slow down his wave clear. You're going to slow down his snowballing. You take away speed buff from Maxon. You get your speed buff and you take away his speed buff. You take away all that mobility from him. Your team has a lot more time to really kind of collect themselves and react to him. And just try not to get him fed. It's very hard when you play someone like Bastet who has a lot of dot damage and it's very easy to secure kills. But like I think the most even lineup at the moment was the mid lane.
Yeah, Agony didn't do too bad for me, actually. He did incredibly well. He was kind of limited. But then again, that's what you expect when you do pick an Alpoish. You expect him to gank quite heavily from Max. He didn't die on repeat, which was really, really nice. He managed to hold his own quite successfully. There were a couple times there once Maxon really got going, but he couldn't have done anything about that. He's Alpoish, and probably the greatest Alpoish counter in Bastet is coming at him in the jungle repeatedly, and whilst he's big as well.
The other thing as well is that I mentioned that Odin has very good lane clear. However, Elucidator, he was waiting for those minions to get into his tower range, and because he was doing that, he was clearing them under tower. Alkiro just came up at the tower line, just bopped him repeatedly, chipped him down. He didn't have the shield up because, surprise, he used his shield to clear. And he just let himself get big. He starved himself out, and he let Alkiro get larger.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, we will have our second game coming your way in just a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. If you want to see the conclusion of the Synapse versus Chiefs Esports Club match, it will be right on the other side of this.